Let me start with a question. What if I told you that one of the biggest drivers of muscle loss in adults isn't what happens in the gym, but what happens while you sleep? And what if the solution wasn't a workout, but a simple nutritional tweak you make just before bed? Here's the thing most people don't realize. Your body doesn't stop working at night. In fact, nighttime is when some of the most critical metabolic processes take place, including muscle repair, fat burning, hormone secretion, and tissue regeneration. But there's a catch. If your body doesn't have the right raw materials available at night, especially amino acids, it can't rebuild. And instead of burning fat and repairing muscle, it starts breaking muscle down. This process is called nocturnal muscle catabolism, and it becomes more aggressive with age, stress, and poor metabolic health. So even if you're eating clean during the day, even if you're doing resistance training, if you're not fueling correctly before sleep, you could be slowly losing muscle mass night after night. And that has real consequences, because muscle isn't just about strength or vanity. It's your metabolic engine. It helps regulate blood sugar, insulin sensitivity, and fat-burning hormones. It protects against frailty, falls, and even cognitive decline as you age. And perhaps most importantly, muscle is your longevity currency. So today's video is critical, especially if you're over 40, dealing with fatigue, gaining fat despite exercise, or noticing your strength and balance fading. Here's what's really going on inside your body. When you sleep, growth hormone is released, which should help stimulate protein synthesis. But if cortisol is high, or blood sugar crashes, or there's no protein reserve available in the bloodstream, the body starts to break down your own muscle tissue for fuel. Now, here's the good news. There's a way to flip this switch, to go from muscle breakdown to muscle building overnight, and it starts with what you eat in the hour before sleep. Today I'm going to share the #1 most powerful pre-bed food to preserve muscle while you sleep, what the research shows about amino acids and overnight protein synthesis, why most people sabotage their metabolism without even knowing it, and how to fix it naturally. A simple, science-based nighttime protocol that promotes fat burning and lean muscle repair even while you rest. If this sounds like the kind of deep, practical health insight you've been looking for, stay with me, because once you understand how to support your body overnight, you'll wake up feeling stronger, lighter, and more energized, and finally start making your workouts count. Before moving straight to the topic, I want you to watch the video completely before adopting any tool or protocol, because I do a lot of research before making a video so it makes sense. So better understand the video and my research first, because your health matters to me a lot. Thank you. And if you're serious about optimizing your health naturally, consider subscribing. I post evidence-based videos like this every day, and I'd love for you to be part of this growing health-first community. Why is your body breaking down muscle even when you're asleep, not moving, and eating well during the day? Here's what's really going on inside your body. When you go to sleep, your body enters a repair and recovery mode. That's when growth hormone peaks, especially in the first half of the night. Growth hormone is supposed to stimulate muscle repair, fat burning, and tissue regeneration. But there's a catch. Your body can't perform those functions unless the right raw materials are present. And that's where things go wrong. During sleep, especially deep sleep, your liver gradually releases glucose to keep blood sugars stable. But if your liver is under depletioning, or your cortisol is elevated due to stress, your body can't manage blood sugar effectively at night. So what does it do? It starts breaking down muscle tissue to convert amino acids into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. This happens especially between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. when blood sugar tends to drop and cortisol rises to wake you up. Think of it like this. Let's say your body is like a contractor trying to repair a house overnight, but there are no bricks, amino acids, no fuel, glycogen, and the lights keep flickering, unstable blood sugar. So instead of building, the contractor starts tearing down other parts of the house to get materials. That's your body, tearing down your own muscle just to keep the lights on. This is even more common as we age because liver glycogen stores shrink with age, and poor diet cortisol regulation weakens, especially in people who don't manage stress or eat late. protein absorption efficiency drops, meaning your body gets less from the same food. And the consequences are serious. Nighttime muscle catabolism isn't just a problem for athletes. It affects anyone trying to maintain healthy metabolism, keep insulin sensitivity strong, avoid frailty and muscle wasting as they age, improve body composition, especially belly fat and leg strength, stay mentally sharp, because muscle even impacts brain health. Here's what the research shows. A 2022 review in the journal Nutrients found that overnight protein intake, particularly slow digesting casein, significantly increased muscle protein synthesis in both young and older adults. Substituting regular protein in lower physical limitations signals the release of euthymia benefits from muscle and improved body weight muscle. This fact is established simply because in both young and older adults, GMF creates muscle sensations, significantly increasing muscle bypassing and bulk maintenance and barter sleep, without disrupting sleep or causing insulin spikes. That's critical, because we're not talking about stuffing yourself before bed. We're talking about strategic nourishment, giving your body just enough to shift it from a breakdown state into a repair state. So what can you do about it? Here's your first step. If you tend to feel wired at night, wake up at 3 a.m. or feel weak and unrefreshed in the morning, you're likely dealing with nighttime muscle breakdown. To start correcting this, avoid skipping dinner or eating too early if you're over 40 and losing muscle. Make sure your dinner contains a moderate amount of protein and healthy fat. Consider a targeted pre-bed protein, which we'll cover in detail in the next section. And if this is helpful so far, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. I post practical, science-rooted tools like this every day to help you rebuild your body naturally without relying on medications. Most people think of insulin as just a blood sugar hormone, but it's much more than that. Insulin is also one of the body's most powerful anabolic hormones, meaning it plays a direct role in building and preserving muscle. Here's what's really going on inside your body. At night, your body is trying to balance multiple things: maintaining stable blood sugar, facilitating muscle repair, managing stress and inflammation, supporting deep restorative sleep. And insulin is central to all of these functions. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of insulin like a gatekeeper. Its job is to open the door and allow nutrients, especially amino acids, into your muscle cells. Without insulin's cooperation, even if you eat the right foods, your muscles can't receive those nutrients efficiently. So your body starts pulling amino acids from its own tissues, leading to catabolism or muscle breakdown. But here's the twist. You don't want too much insulin at night either. Spiking insulin too high with carbs before bed will shut down fat burning and interfere with growth hormone, which peaks during early sleep. So the key is insulin modulation. Not suppression, not overstimulation. You want a mild, steady insulin response that keeps amino acids available and muscles protected without crashing your blood sugar later in the night. Now, what happens if insulin isn't doing its job? That's common in people. That's continued insulin resistance, skipped dinners, extreme low-carb diets without adequate protein, chronic stress, which spikes cortisol and blocks insulin's muscle-preserving effects. And if your insulin signaling is off, two things happen at night. You don't build or preserve muscle efficiently. Your blood sugar can crash, triggering cortisol, disrupting sleep, and amplifying muscle loss. According to a study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, stable insulin levels combined with a slow digesting protein source before bed led to significantly better overnight nitrogen balance, a key indicator of muscle preservation, especially in older adults. So, what's the solution? Here's a powerful science-backed strategy. Consume a slow digesting, low insulin impact protein source about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This gives your muscles access to amino acids all night without creating a big insulin spike. Avoid high glycemic carbs or sugary snacks before bed. These lead to an insulin spike followed by a crash, the perfect storm for poor sleep and muscle breakdown. Support insulin sensitivity during the day with intermittent fasting, resistance training, magnesium, and chromium-rich foods. Avoiding ultra-processed carbs. If you're someone who feels groggy in the morning, has poor muscle tone despite exercise, or struggles with energy dips, this insulin-muscle connection is something you cannot afford to ignore. In the next section, I'll reveal the #1 best food to eat before bed to protect your muscle and restore deep metabolic balance overnight. It's a simple addition, but it works like a metabolic shield. So by now you understand that your body needs a steady flow of amino acids during sleep to prevent muscle breakdown. You also know that insulin plays a dual role. It must be stable enough to preserve muscle, but not so high that it blocks fat burning or disrupts sleep. So what's the most effective food that checks all the boxes? Casein protein, specifically a slow digesting, high quality form of casein, often found in cottage cheese or as a standalone protein powder. Let me explain why. Unlike whey protein, which spikes quickly and gets absorbed within 2 to 3 hours, casein is absorbed slowly over 6 to 8 hours. That's exactly the time range your body needs to stay in an anabolic, repair-focused state while you sleep. Here's a simple analogy. If your body is like a construction crew repairing a house overnight, whey is like giving them a big pile of bricks at 9 p.m., then running out by midnight. Casein, on the other hand, is like delivering a steady drip of bricks from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. That consistent supply prevents the crew from tearing down other parts of the house, your muscle, just to keep going. And there's science to back this up. A randomized controlled trial published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise found that consuming 30 to 40 grams of casein 30 minutes before bed led to a significant increase in overnight muscle protein synthesis, especially when paired with resistance training earlier in the day. But here's what's even more powerful. This strategy also improves metabolic health. Unlike high-carb snacks or late-night meals, casein has a minimal impact on insulin and blood sugar, it doesn't trigger fat storage, and it supports growth hormone production, which is highest in the first few hours of sleep. So how do you use this in your own life? Here's a simple protocol. Option 1, 1/2 to 1 cup of organic, full-fat cottage cheese. This is one of the best natural sources of casein, plus it contains tryptophan, a precursor to melatonin and serotonin, which can help improve sleep quality. Option 2, 25 to 35 grams of casein protein powder mixed with water or unsweetened almond milk. Look for a clean, additive-free version. Add cinnamon or cacao powder if you like flavor, but avoid sweeteners close to bed. For example, don't eat anything that has freshly baked optional add-ons. A teaspoon of almond butter, healthy fat, slows digestion further. A pinch of sea salt helps cortisol regulation if you're waking up at 3, and a little to no taste of magnesium glycinate or L-theanine to enhance relaxation. Timing matters too. Consume your casein snack or shake about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Too early and you miss the window. Too late and digestion may interfere with deep sleep. This single change, eating a slow, digesting protein before bed, can transform how your body recovers overnight. If this is clicking for you so far, hit that like button and consider subscribing. I break down these kinds of functional, science-backed strategies every day to help you reclaim your energy, strength, and metabolism naturally. So you now know that eating the right food, like casein, before bed can be incredibly powerful, but just as important is knowing what not to do. Because here's the truth, many people are unintentionally setting themselves up for muscle breakdown and poor sleep through seemingly healthy evening habits. Let's walk through the most common nighttime mistakes and how to fix them. Mistake number 1, skipping dinner or eating too early. This is especially common with intermittent fasting enthusiasts, pushing dinner to 5 or 6 p.m., then going to bed at 10 or 11. That leaves a 4 to 6 hour gap with no fuel. And remember, during sleep, your body still needs glucose and amino acids. If it doesn't have them from food, it gets them from your muscle tissue. If you're over 40, losing muscle, or dealing with poor sleep, eat dinner closer to bedtime, around 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., and include protein plus fat. You can still fast during the day and compress your eating window, but don't let your muscles go 12 plus hours overnight without support. Mistake number 2, eating a high-carb snack before bed. Granola bars, fruit, or even a glass of warm milk may feel comforting, but they spike insulin, suppress growth hormone, and lead to blood sugar crashes later in the night. The result? You wake up groggy, inflamed, and more insulin resistant the next morning and your body is still in a catabolic state, choose a low insulin impact food like cottage cheese, eggs, or casein protein powder. Add healthy fat if needed to slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar. Mistake number 3, drinking alcohol to fall asleep. Alcohol might help you fall asleep faster, but it disrupts REM sleep, suppresses growth hormone, and raises cortisol during the second half of the night. All of this accelerates muscle breakdown and fat storage, especially in the midsection. Replace alcohol with a natural sleep-enhancing combo, magnesium glycinate, 200 to 400 milligrams. Herbal teas like chamomile or reishi. These support deep sleep without interfering with your muscle-building hormones. Mistake number 4, doing fasted cardio first thing in the morning while already underfueled. Many people sleep on an empty stomach, then wake up and immediately exercise. That's a double hit. Catabolic overnight, followed by catabolic morning stress. Without fuel, your body may break down lean muscle to meet energy demands. If you do fasted cardio, make sure your evening protein intake is high enough to supply your muscles overnight. And consider a small amino acid or collagen boost in the morning before your workout if you're noticing fatigue or muscle loss. Mistake number 5, ignoring stress and sleep hygiene. You can eat perfectly before bed, but if cortisol is high from stress, screens, or poor sleep habits, your body will still prioritize survival over repair. Limit screens 1 hour before bed. Try nasal breathing or 4-7-8 breathing before sleep. Keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Consider adaptogens like ashwagandha or phosphatidylserine if stress is chronically high. These aren't minor tweaks. They are metabolic levers. Fixing these mistakes can literally flip your body from breakdown mode to rebuild mode overnight. Now that we've covered the mechanisms, the food, and the common mistakes, it's time to get practical. Let me walk you through a simple, science-based nighttime protocol designed to prevent muscle loss, support deep, restorative sleep, optimize fat burning and metabolic health while you rest. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just plug these habits into your evening and let your body do what it's designed to do: heal and rebuild. Step 1, time your final meal wisely. Aim to eat dinner about 2.5 to 3 hours before bed. This gives you enough time for digestion without spiking insulin right before sleep. Your dinner should include a complete protein like salmon, eggs, turkey, or grass-fed beef, a healthy fat like avocado, olive oil, or ghee, light vegetables like spinach, broccoli, or zucchini. Avoid heavy starches and sugars here, They may feel comforting, but they suppress growth hormone and promote blood sugar crashes overnight. Step 2, add a pre-bed muscle-preserving snack 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Consume. Option 1, half to 1 cup full-fat organic cottage cheese, rich in casein. Option 2, 25 to 35 g casein protein powder in water or unsweetened almond milk. Want to enhance this even further? You can optionally add 1 teaspoon almond butter, fat slows digestion, a sprinkle of cinnamon, helps regulate blood sugar, a pinch of sea salt, calms adrenals, balances cortisol. This simple addition supplies a steady stream of amino acids all night, protecting your muscle and fueling tissue repair. Step 3, support sleep and cortisol balance naturally. You can't build or preserve muscle if your sleep is poor. Here's how to support high-quality hormone-optimized rest. 1 hour before bed, dim the lights, shut down screens, or wear blue light blockers. Take magnesium glycinate, 200 to 400 milligrams, helps relax muscles and improve sleep depth. Optional, add L-theanine, 100 to 200 milligrams, or glycine. Both calm the nervous system and reduce nighttime awakenings. Try a short 3-minute practice, nasal breathing, or the 4-7-8 technique. Sync your hippocampa to transcend sleep, disassociate, and wake up. This lowers nighttime cortisol and supports melatonin production. Keep your bedroom cool. 65 to 67 DEGF, 18 to 19 DEGC is ideal. Step 4, track your results. Start applying this for 3 to 5 nights and track your morning energy and focus, whether you feel stronger or less sore. Any changes in sleep quality or nighttime waking, your waistline, weight, or muscle tone over 2 to 4 weeks. Even small improvements in nighttime recovery lead to compounding benefits in strength, metabolism, and clarity over time. Here's your challenge. Try this full protocol for just 3 nights, not a full diet overhaul, just a shift in when and what you eat before bed, plus a few calming sleep supports. You'll likely wake up feeling more grounded, less inflamed, and even leaner, because your body finally had what it needed to rebuild instead of break down. Now, we'll review the major takeaways, and I'll share one powerful next step you can take to reinforce these gains for long-term health. Let's step back for a moment and look at the big picture. Your body is constantly in one of 2 modes. It's either building up or breaking down. And surprisingly, the time your body does the most building or the most damage isn't at the gym or at work, it's while you're asleep. What you do in the final 2 hours of your day sets the metabolic stage for the next 24 hours. Here's what we now know. If you go to bed undernourished, stressed, or with blood sugar instability, your body starts breaking down your own muscle tissue for fuel. If you eat the wrong things, high sugar, high starch, or alcohol, you block growth hormone and spike insulin, sabotaging both sleep and muscle repair. But if you eat the right kind of protein, like slow digesting, casein, and support your nervous system with the right nutrients and sleep hygiene, your body enters a deep recovery state. You shift from muscle breakdown to muscle preservation and growth. You wake up with better energy, better focus, and improved insulin sensitivity. And over time, you build a stronger, leaner, more resilient body, even as you age. So here's your challenge. Tonight, don't go to bed on autopilot. Try the protocol we covered. Eat a balanced dinner with protein and fat. Add a small casein-rich snack 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Support your nervous system with magnesium, deep breathing, and screen-free wind down time. And let your body do its job, which is to repair, grow, and strengthen you while you sleep. Track how you feel tomorrow morning, not just physically, but mentally. Did you sleep deeper, feel lighter, less inflamed or stiff? That's your body signaling, thank you, you gave me what I needed. And if this content added value for you, give it a like and consider subscribing. I post videos like this every day, helping you reclaim your health with science-based, natural tools that work with your body, not against it. You don't need to do everything perfectly. Just start with this one habit. Eat to rebuild and let your sleep become your most powerful healing tool.